So, after my horrible deadlift session today... Oh, fuck! I was talking to my cousin Erin, and she mentioned that she wants to get a Ski Erg, and the first thing I thought was, well, why can't you just do that with cables? I don't see why you need a special thing to be able to do that. For those of you not familiar, if you go to the Concept 2 website, Concept 2 makes the rowers that everybody, including me, love so much, and so they make this thing called a Ski Erg where you just pull down on ropes to simulate sort of like cross-country skiing. So, as you know, I just completed my cable crossover project where I've got cables and pulleys and all kinds of things to do all sorts of exercises where I'm applying force from different angles, and I thought, well, why don't I try and do that with the Ski Erg? I mean, the Ski Erg has a digital readout that tells you calories and distance and a bunch of other purely bullshit type statistics that are not really based much on reality. But, you know, that it's nice. You can measure your progress. And so this would obviously lack that sort of thing, but could we make something like this in a gym without having to spend $1,000, which is what a Ski Erg costs? They're really expensive, and you either have to bolt them into your floor or buy a big giant Ski Erg platform. So if you've got cables, can you do something with cables? So here's what I came up with. So up top, I just mounted a couple of my shackles to pulleys, and then the pulleys are there. I attached some carabiners to my orange straps here. These will serve as handles, which are actually not totally different than the handles on the Ski Erg. So I've got handles, and then going down, just to test this out as a concept, I put on like 10 pounds per, and this is kind of close, but this won't work, and I'll show you why. So it starts off okay enough. I mean, you get in the, you know, your Ski Erg position, down, 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 and then these things start swinging like crazy. Eventually these would hit me. So close. So what can I do to fix that? Really, it's pretty simple stuff. So what I did is I just added a damper on the system using a pair of shackles on the uprights, and then just a couple of these nylon straps that I've gone over in other videos. So, and connected them with a carabiner in the beginning. So this should keep the thing from swaying quite so much and smacking me in the whatever part of the body it would smack me in. So let's see how it works now. They're still swinging a lot. I can put another set of, well, let's try putting one more set of those things on there. And let's try it again. Alright, so now this one's smacking the upright, so I'm just going to move it over a little bit. Okay, let's try again. I can already feel that working. Alright, so I can already see one way that that's better than a Ski Erg and one way that it's worse. The one way that it's better is that with a Ski Erg you only get so much ability to adjust the accommodative resistance of the fan blades. As you spin fan blades faster and faster, they get less and less efficient. So spinning your fan blades super hard doesn't give you that much more resistance than spinning them at a medium speed. And it's probably like the rower where you can modify the amount of air going in. But this, I mean, you could set up 200 pounds on each side. You can't do that with a Ski Erg. So this actually gives you the ability to row. And honestly, if you're trying to develop power for like cross-country skiing, you probably should have some part of your training cycle where you are really moving a lot of weight. Not for reps, you know, you wouldn't do it for 10 kilometers or something like that, but you know, you should probably do some strength work. Now, how is it worse than a Ski Erg? Because of the nature of pulleys, the amount of force that you have to generate to begin with is going to be a lot, and then as you have thrown momentum into the system, then the amount of resistance that you're getting as you're pulling down there at the very bottom is going to be less. But how do we fix that? Weightlifters, how do we fix that? The way you would do that is you'd attach chains to it. So you'd put chains on the system right at the loading pin, and then as you pulled, the chains wouldn't provide very much weight, but then as you got lower and lower, the chains would provide more and more weight. Chains would also fix the swinging problem. So I think the only thing that's missing is really chains. I missed the last Titan sale on chains, but I'm gonna get some chains for my system. They're really good for a lot of exercises, but I feel like if you can live without the digital readout, that is largely just giving you fictitious data anyway. It's giving you ballparky kind of, you know, it's not real. Like the distance that you're doing on a Ski Erg is not the real distance, and the calories you burn are not. Actual calories are just a way to kind of measure your progress, relatively speaking. But I feel like with a cable system, you can duplicate a Ski Erg. In fact, you can do better. You can do a better job. Total cost of that project, if you didn't have any of that stuff to begin with, loading pins are roughly $25 each. I recommend getting the Rogue ones. The pulleys from National Hardware are like 10 bucks each. So 2 loading pins, 2 pulleys. So we're up to what, $70 now. And then shackles are like 40 bucks a pair if you get the Titans, and just a little bit more if you get Rogue. So there on that system, you really only need the 1 pair of shackles, so $110. Then the cost of cables. Cables, as I've discussed a million times, if you can't make them yourself, they're very expensive, but you can get them for, you know, 30, 40 bucks, or maybe even 20. So total project costs less than $200, and you could use those pulleys for everything. Pulleys and cables for everything, versus $1,000 to acquire a Ski Erg. So I think that system is superior to a Ski Erg. I'd be interested in what people think about that. Maybe that's a really controversial statement, and maybe I'm 100% wrong, but I think that system is actually way better than a Ski Erg. And if you attach chains to loading pin, and then you can tune it with chains, right? Because you can double up the chain in certain parts, and you can use a carabiner, so you're pulling more chain at certain points in the cycle. But I feel like that's actually better. I think that's better than a Ski Erg at a fraction of the cost. So another reason why I'm a big fan of cable systems, you can do so many things with them, and they're awesome, but I feel like that's better than a Ski Erg. So have a great workout. We'll see you soon. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Am I totally off base? Am I completely out of my tree? I think this is better than a Ski Erg. If you're a big Ski Erg fan, I'd love to hear why I am completely wrong. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.